How's it going? It's been about 6 months since I've been using the HitBox Ultra, and I wanted to do a quick review of it, talk about things I don't like, things that I really like and love about it, and also compare it to the leverless I was using for the previous year, which is the Victrix Pro KO. So I want to start off by talking about things that I don't like because I don't really have too many complaints, but just some things to be aware of about this controller. One is, of course, the price. It's a very expensive controller. The default Hitbox Ultra version is 300 bucks, the black one. This one, particularly the Daigo edition, is 325, and I don't even know if this one's available anymore. At least not the one that's compatible with everything. I saw they're releasing a PC version only for about 180, so something to keep in mind. But this exact version I have not seen available. I did get it on sale back when they were doing one in late January, February for about 275 before shipping. So pricing's a big one. This one is mostly white, so there's not like fingerprints and scratches showing up pretty easily. But if you get the black one, it's a fingerprint magnet, so something to be aware of. But you can change out the artwork in that one. You just need to get an extra plexiglass cover to switch it up. Couple of minor things. I think the button optimizers could be easier to switch out. You have to twist this off. And if they just gave you a little tool to do it, would make it a little bit easier. You have to like kind of use your finger or fingernails to take it out and switch it up. If they had something like the Quanba Sapphire, where they give you a tool where you just twist it and it changes how far in the button is pushed, that would be really nice. Maybe in the Hitbox Ultra V3, who knows? And there really isn't a clear indicator of what mode it's in. You can see up here if you hold certain buttons or if you just hold start when you plug it in, it'll know what mode it's in. But I kind of wish there was a little switch that you could just press or toggle to tell it what mode to be on. Some people have said they would like a screen on here. I personally don't want that. I think this looks really clean. I don't want a little indicator screen up here. But that's just a personal preference. And the final thing I have to complain about this thing is changing out the combo extensions and the switches in general it's a little tricky. You can see here everything is neatly wired. I have not changed any of this. I've not changed the default mapping. There's nothing. I do like, you have a lot of options here for what buttons the combo extensions map to. But, in the Victrix, if you want to change out buttons, they give you a tool. You open up the top, switch out the buttons really quick, no problem. This, you have to rewire, unplug everything, rewire. The extenders are connected to the specific buttons, so I can't just remove the extender and move it somewhere. This button has to be moved out to here or wherever else I want it. If you're comfortable messing around with this, then I think that you're in great hands. No problem. But personally, I don't modify stuff like this. I don't trust myself to not accidentally break a wire or something when messing around with this. So, something to keep in mind. I don't usually modify stuff. I just use the default layout. Really, the only thing I was like, it would be nice if I could change was moving maybe this combo extender to the here so my pinky has something to rest on, but I only use it as a touchpad anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, those are really the things I dislike. Let's talk about what I love about this thing, because there's a lot. First of all, personally, these are the best buttons I've used on any controller, like without a doubt. They feel great. They aren't loud. They were literally the exact type of button I was looking for when I was looking for a new leverless. My biggest issue with the Victrix was the buttons. I hated how loud they were. I hated the plastic glossy caps. They were super high travel, in my opinion. And even this, like, you can choose the travel. I'll paste in a separate video here that's a bit clearer, but even taking the button optimizers out, like, this is nowhere near as deep or as loud as the Victrix buttons are. So I love these buttons. Highly recommend them. I don't know if you can buy them separately to put them in other controllers. The size is perfect. The caps are perfect. You can even customize the artwork within the buttons, which I think is really cool. So that's the biggest thing. I think overall the controller has a clean design. I like how wide it is. It can rest on my lap, whether I'm playing off the couch or on, here at my little station here. I like that it's compatible with PS5, PS4, Switch 2, and PC. I think that's pretty neat. I think Victrix is just PS5, PS4, PC, separate Xbox version if you want the Xbox One. Now, honestly, I don't really use this thing on the Switch. I have a Switch. I don't play fighting games on it. If I ever did, though, it's nice to know that I have the option to use this controller for it. And I also like one thing I actually really appreciate, and this is something that I didn't think would be an issue until I was using the Victrix. This button is mapped to the touchpad by default. I have not changed it at all, left it as is. When it's in PS5 mode, it's, the touchpad. You can use that as a reset button, perfect. And when it's in PC mode, it actually knows automatically that this is not the touchpad button. This is whatever the Xbox equivalent is, select button, whatever. The reason I bring this up is because on the Victrix, you map what each button goes to. You can do it on the hardware level, like messing around with the buttons, or you can do it through the software. You can't choose, if you have it mapped to touchpad, it's just the touchpad. Meaning, if you're using the PC edition, pressing the button won't do anything. So if I played on PC, which is where I mostly play, I would have to map it to the select button so that I get the reset functionality. But if I do that and then I use it on the PS5 and I press that same button, it's not going to treat it as a touchpad. It's going to treat it as the share button. And it's going to pop up that, screenshot screen. Now, this for 90% of people probably isn't an issue. Who cares, right? But let's say you're a competitor, you're going to tournaments and stuff, and you had you play on PC or you're a streamer or something and you take it to a tournament where they mostly use PS5s. If you don't update the mapping and you accidentally hit that button, and during a tournament that screen pops up, you're disqualified. And keep in mind with the Victrix, that tournament lock button does not affect any of the face buttons. Tournament lock is strictly for this, right? Same for the hitbox. Like, these are all buttons affected by the tournament lock. Any face button is fair game. So if you have a face button used to reset and you're gonna press the whatever button it is on the PC, on PS5, it will bring up the share screen. So I noticed it kind of annoyed me. I just wanted to point it out in case this is an issue for anyone else. All right, let's do a comparison with the Victrix. I'm going to start by showing a combo using this controller first, and then the Victrix. No game audio, just the buttons, just to give you an idea of what the controllers sound like. One thing I didn't touch on that I just wanted to cover real quick before I give my conclusion is the button optimizers on the hitbox. So by default, this one comes with the 1mm one, which is this one here. But you can go 0.65 millimeters, you can go 1.5, which is what I'm using right now. I've been trying all of them, and honestly, the 0.65 was even too little travel for me, and I like low travel, but 1.5 I found is the perfect amount. It actually feels in like the same amount of travel as the combo extensions. And then this one doesn't have one at all. Now at this angle, not a great comparison. I'm going to add a video here that'll show you how far each one goes in. But personally, all of them feel pretty good. I just like the 1.5. That's what I'm using right now. All right, so in conclusion, if you're in the market for a high quality levelless controller and you're looking at options such as HitBox, Victrix, Kitsune, Corsair, Quanba, those are the other ones that I've used, and PS5 compatibility is key, this is the best one in my opinion. I just love these buttons. I like the size of it. This is the limited edition design is still sick even after 6 months. But there's things to like about the Victrix. I like how easy it is to modify. I like having the buttons up here. I like that you can customize the lighting, and there's a software that accompanies this that you can play around with, despite the issues I've had with it. Now, like I mentioned, people have had disconnection issues with this controller. I personally have not, so I can't speak to that, but something to keep in mind. But overall, this is my favorite leverless controller. And the reason I specify leverless specifically is because more recently I have been playing on this guy. I started as a pad player, and more recently, in the past couple of weeks, I see myself going back to pad for some reason. I don't know. I play on pad. I feel like I should use leverless. I play on leverless. I feel like I should be using pad. But that'll be a separate video. If you enjoyed this type of content, feel free to like and subscribe. Obviously, this is not a sponsored video. I have less than 10 subscribers. So, uh, you know, keep that in mind. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you stuck around to the end, I really appreciate it. And go Knicks. See ya.